Welcome back, friends. It's the Half-Ass Crafter. I'm Laura, the Half-Ass Crafter, and we are doing half-ass crafts today. I know it's kind of been like forever since we've done half-ass crafts, but here we are. We're doing them today. It's going to be exciting. So what you see here, you may know, you're like, hey, those are ATCs. You are correct, my little half-asslings. These are ATCs. We are going to make ATCs. So if you have been on the Facebook group, and if you haven't, there's a link down below so you can join. Anyone can join. You just have to answer the questions. Please answer the questions or I won't approve you. I'll think you're a bot. So if you've been on the Facebook group, you've noticed that there are a lot of people showing their really amazing ATCs. And while I do have some ATCs, and I've done some ATCs, I don't have a ton. And every time I see them, I'm like, oh, that looks so fun, but I never get around to doing it. Well, over the weekend, I did a gel plate session where I pulled some gel plate prints. And one of the things that I pulled was this piece of craft cardstock. And I just used it to sop up. I had way too much paint. And I used it to sop up some paint. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to make those into ATCs. So I cut it all apart yesterday. I made these three. Let me hold them this way. I made these three ATCs. Aren't they cute? Hello, friend. I love that one. I made these little ATCs, and then I have this little stack over here of more that I want to make. Now, so this is everybody, whenever folks do gel plate printing sessions, there's always someone in the comments that's like, but what do you do with the gel plate prints? And then it's, well, you use them for collage. And then you do. We're going to use them for collage today. And the other thing is, if you watched my other video last week about deconstructing a chindi or a rag rug, you know that I probably have a ton like this. This is literally just scraps that I almost threw away. And then I was like, I could probably use those for something. I have a ton of fabric scraps. And what I did is I used those little pieces in the backgrounds here. So we today are going to make and use things. It's going to be amazing. What do you do with the chindi rug after you take it apart? Well, you can make journal ties. You can make tassels. You can make toppers for your tags and your tuck spots and whatever. Like, you can make ruffles on the side of the pages. There's all sorts of things that you can do with a chindi rug. What are you going to do with the gel plate prints that you make? You tear them up and use them in collage, or you could use the whole page in a journal. You could just fold it in half and use the whole page if you wanted. We're not going to do that. We are going to take these gel plate prints and a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. Yes, I know. Woo! Look, here we go. Woo. Isn't that pretty? I love shiny things. I'm like a crow. So we're going to make a masterboard. I know. And then people are like, what's a masterboard? If you want to know all about masterboards, I used to do a thing called Masterboard Monday. I have a whole playlist. It shows so many different ways to make a masterboard and ways you can use them and everything else. We are going to make a masterboard. I'm going to show you how to use your gel plate prints. We will make a masterboard. I'm going to show you how we're going to use the masterboard. We're going to make ATCs out of it. Spoiler alert. We're going to use not these, but I have a whole basket full of scraps from the chindi rug that I want to use. We're going to use those scraps. We're going to use our stickers and our Tim Holtz people. We're even going to use probably a little bit of book page. Who knows? But we're going to start using our stuff. So today is use your stuff. It's a let's use. Let's use. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do is I just have a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper. And as you can see, it's got like a foiled, iridescent, rainbowy side. And then it just has this regular printed side. I am going to use my matte gel medium to do this. You could use a glue stick. I'm using the matte gel medium because this is waxed deli paper, and I'm afraid that a glue stick is not going to hold up at all. But before I begin, I have one more step that I forgot. BRB. Okay, I just didn't want to get glue on my little desk pad. So I am using a wet glue, which means the paper will curl, and that's okay because what we're going to do is we are going to, well, I'm going to put it under a book to dry. So this whole video is probably going to take me a couple of days. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll show you the gel plate prints before I tear them up. But the first thing that I want to do is just put some prints down. So I'm just going to tear these up, little bits of them, and we're just going to put them down. That's it. And we're going to make a masterboard. And I might speed through this if I can't think of anything to talk about. One of the problems with living where I live is that I can't get, the glue's drying too fast. I can't get the glue down. I need to relax a little. So usually my masterboards are pretty neutral. Yeah, they're very neutral. I usually just do them with maybe some book page, and then what I usually like to do is paint them or somehow color them so that they end up being a little bit interesting. They're like a whole work of art in themselves, but this time around, I want to use my gel plate prints and see if I can use my prints to make a masterboard because I think it's fun. Let's see. So when I am collaging things, one thing that I've discovered in my vast knowledge of collaging for a whole year is you want to go over the edges kind of back and forth because that puts some of your medium under your paper. Tissue paper, the matte gel medium is going to soak down into. So I don't think I want all of that. Yeah. So I'm going to speed through this because this is just kind of boring, and then we're going to get to the good part of having a masterboard. And then what do you do with the masterboard? This is so much fun. I love that we're answering the question of what do you do with gel plate prints and what do you do with a masterboard? We're going to answer them all in one video. How exciting is that? Super exciting. It's really, really, really exciting. Well, I think it's really exciting. Maybe you don't. Okay, we're fast forwarding through. Play your own music. Okay, so we have this. All I did was as you saw, I just tore up all the pages and then I put them all down, and it'll end up however it ends up. We're just going to cut it into 3.5 by 2.5 inch cards. So it's just going to be whatever it is. So this has to dry. It's still very wet and floppy. And then what I did was I went over to my little stash of my Sari, that's S-A-R-I, not sorry, S-O-R-R-Y, my little pieces of rag rug fabric, and I just cut off a couple of different pieces that we can use on the backgrounds for these ATCs. And you don't need much. I got a longer piece of this just because there's this hem on it, and so, but you don't need much at all. I mean, if you look here, this is what, maybe 1 inch by 1.5 inches or 2 inches. It's not a lot. So what I'm going to do is, some of these are woven like this one, so I'm going to pull out some of the threads to make it all frayed and artsy. So I'm going to do that. We're going to let this thing dry over here. I'm probably going to let it dry overnight, and then I'll come back, and then we will cut up the masterboards. We're going to use our gel plate prints. We're going to use our rag rug scraps, fabric scraps, and we're going to make and use a masterboard. So stick around because it's coming right up. And we're back. So this dried, and I went ahead and got out, you can see these little cases. These are my Tim Holtz mini people. So they're going to fit better on an ATC than the bigger people did. If you noticed on these, I actually had to cut his little feet off. If I put him all the way at the top, I would still have to have cut his feet off. So I thought that it at least looked better if I lobbed him off at the knees. So I got out my mini people. I've got these PET or PET stickers. If you ever see that, this is what you're getting. They are printed on clear plastic, and they're kind of shiny. The plastic is shiny. Sometimes the printing is matte, which is nice, but there are moments where the printing and the plastic are kind of shiny. So be on the lookout for that. I'm not a huge fan of the PET stickers. I think my favorite are these, which are like line drawings. So we may use some of these, we may not. We'll see. I just went ahead, and what I did was I just pulled a little collection of things that I can use. I've got this, which is just, these are like scraps. So I did a masterboard out of just postage stamps. You can go to my Ko-fi, link is below, and you can get these yourself. And I think these are actually ATC sized. So clearly I was going to do something with those. I've got some fussy cuts in here. This is just like scraps left over from other projects, but it's a whole lot of fussy cuts. So I thought, well, maybe I'll dig through there and find stuff that works. I got these, which are also scraps left over. I kind of want to say they're left over from a project I did. I'm not sure which project that was. It's funny because I was all like, back in, I think, December or January, Darcy was using all of her scraps, and I kept commenting. I was like, I don't have that many scraps. But now that I've like started going through my stuff, I actually have a ton of scraps. So I don't know what the heck I was thinking. So just ignore me. And then I have these, which these are 49 and market die cuts. Some of them are chipboard and some are just a really strong cardstock. But, you know, I mean, these colors kind of match. So I thought, oh, well, you know, I could use these because the colors do kind of match. So finally a use for these, because I love these colors, but I just never had anything that I could use them in. So now maybe I do. So we might use those. Who knows? I've got my scraps here, my fabric scraps. I also have some scraps of the gel prints that we actually used just in case, you know, if I, like if this turns out to be one, I could put that on there and it would still match, but it would be a different background or a different, you know, piece of paper than what's on there. And then of course I have my scraps from my chindi rug. These are just some pattern paper. I cut these out. They're not quite the right colors, but I cut them out anyway. Maybe I can use them. So first things first, now that we have a bunch of stuff we can pull from and we can, like, you know, rifle through and test out, oh, do I like that? Do I like this? We have all of that. So these are all of our bits and baubles that will go on here to make it pretty. We need to cut this. So the one thing I did is I wrote down the size of the paper is 12 by 12 and an ATC is 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And this is 12 inches by 12 inches. So a lot of folks I've seen when they do this, they will trim their edges up first and then go and make their ATCs. What I think I'm going to do is I think I am going to round these two numbers up. I'm about to do some math. You can feel free to fast forward. But if I round 2.5 up to 3, and then I round 3.5 up to 4, I can get clean cuts. So I won't have any left over. And then I can also clean up the edges on the ends. That would give me a 1/4 inch on either end to clean up. And I think that that would be easier to do than to try to do it on a 12 by 12. So I'm going to go cut strips 3 inches by 4 inches. So I will, well, actually I'm going to cut strips first. So I will probably do 3-inch strips first, and then I will cut those into 4-inch blocks. Does that make any sense? Probably not. Math is very confusing for me, but I can make it make sense in my own head in a weird way that doesn't make sense to other people. My math teacher used to get very angry at me in 6th grade because that's how I did math. And she told me that was not how you do math. And I'm like, but the answers are right. And she's like, well, maybe you're just not good at math, which made no sense because the answers were right. So anyway, all right, I'm going to go cut this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got all these cut. And every time I do ATCs, I try to optimize my cutting. And I never know, should I just cut them all the right size and then have a strip left over, which you can use as a belly band. I have lots of belly bands floating around. Not that I've used any of them. Usually my ATCs are very thick. I usually do them on cardstock. This is done on a piece of scrapbook paper with the deli plate, so it's a little thinner. So maybe I should have just cut them in the correct way so that I did have the one piece that I could use as a belly band, but I didn't do that. So I had a lot of little small pieces left over, which is also not bad. I'm sure that I could find a use for them. The smaller ones I threw away, but I do have some bigger chunks hanging around. But that's neither here nor there. Here are all of our ATCs. And you'll notice some of them are pretty boring, but that's okay. We're going to put things on it. So like I said earlier, I do have some of these strips of leftover deli paper. So we can, you know, we can add little elements to these ATCs if we want. So we can zhuzh up the backgrounds, but also their backgrounds are meant to be in the background, so it doesn't really matter. So the next step is to decide, do we want to leave them with the straight corners or do we want rounded or maybe fancy corners? I'm gonna do some fancy, I think, and some not so fancy. I actually hate this punch because I thought I was using a different one. So there's this one. I don't know why, but I don't like those. I thought I was using this one, which I do like. Ta-da! So we have a few different ones that we can use. This one's fun as well. It's very old-timey. And then we can just round the corners as well. So ta-da! I think I like the rounded corners because these are a little bit more modern. So since I'm not doing vintagey ones, I'm just going to round the corners on the remaining. Because what we do here at the Half-Ass Crafter is we just try things and we experiment, and then we say, well, that doesn't work very well, or hey, that's a neat way to do it. That worked pretty well. And it's all okay. And sometimes my videos are not how to, but how not to. Or, woo, don't do that at all. Never try that in your life. Save yourself the heartache. Let the Half-Ass Crafter make the mistakes so you don't have to. That's what we do. That one did not work. Why is this not working? All right. There we go. So, oops, missed one. All right. So let's put that back. We've got all of these. I need to get all of these bits up. All right, so I do have my little painty paper back here. I saw another YouTuber who uses a paper calendar like this, and I thought, that's brilliant. And now I see them everywhere. Maybe I'm just looking now. I don't know, but they're everywhere. I feel like Birdie the Recycled Hippie Chick even has one. So, okay. So what we want to do is we want a focal point first. So we can decide, do you want a focal point which is these people? Do you want a focal point which is, well, definitely not a little boy sitting on nothing. I mean, unless I have like, oh, actually, he can sit there. Ah, well, that's where he goes. These ladies are both sitting as well. I don't think I can recreate that twice. Unless I could have them sitting, no. All right, all of these sitting people. I could have a big group of ladies, maybe. There's a gentleman. There's what looks to be a mother and daughter. I don't know if you can see these down here at the bottom. Barely. What I normally do, that's another sitting person. Those people are sitting. I already have one dude. One dude's plenty. What about, she's so tiny. More sitting people. Here's some standing people. More sitting people, more sitting people. I just dropped someone on the floor. More sitting people. Oh, here's a couple of ladies standing. Look at them. They're cute. I dropped a sitting person. Okay, fun. Let's see. Well, I might like this dude better than that dude. Those are sitting ladies. These are standing ladies. They would just be the whole thing, so no. These ladies, I don't know about all these groups of people. There's so many. There's so many people sitting down. There's that lady. More sitting people. Another sitting lady. There's two kids. I don't know about that. There's two people. They're kind of cute. They're totes adorbs. Here's a standing person. That's a kid, but he has a creepy head. Some of the little mini people, I've heard other people say that they see this as well. They are cut out a little weird, and sometimes the heads don't get put in the frame correctly. So they just end up like see this little boy? See how he has an extra piece of head over here? And that guy does too. It's a little weird. And sometimes they do it with their faces, and their faces end up looking a little like spooky. She's really small, but I kind of like her. I wonder... No. All right, I think I'm going to swap out this guy for this guy, although he's leaning on something. So I need him to lean on something. Well, maybe we can swap her with him, and he can be leaning on that pink piece of paper. Not really. All right, never mind, taking them out. I wish my fingernails would work. Oh, there's that nice lady. You like her? We might like her. Maybe we like her over here. Yeah, we do. And then here's another nice lady. Oh, she's cute. Let's put her there. Here's a dog. Looking off into nothing. Do we want this group of ladies on this one? Possibly. Oh, they're sitting, but aren't they adorable? They are kind of cute. It's like it's St. Patrick's Day. I kind of like them there. All right, we may do them. I don't know what's happening there. No, I think we have our people. And we don't have to use all of these people, and we may decide we don't want a person at all and we want to do a flower as a focal point, and that's okay. So I'm going to set the people box off to the side. And I do have some of these things, but the colors don't really go. So that's a not really. Oh, I love these mushrooms. The mushrooms are kind of fun. We could just put them on the back. Okay, that's kind of cool because then she could be, she's kind of like Alice in Wonderland with the massive mushrooms, right? You know, the whole like eat me, drink me, right? Eat me to grow bigger, drink me to go smaller, or the other way around, I'm not sure. All right. So these sometimes are not terribly sticky. So I'm going to use my bone folder because I don't want to really put glue on the back if I can help it, because the problem will become, as you can imagine, you could see the glue. And I don't really want to be able to see the glue. So I'm going to make sure to burnish this down because I really want that adhesive to adhere. Look at me and my vocabulary. All right. Oh, I love that. That's cool. Okay, but she needs something else. She can't just be hanging out with the mushrooms by herself. Let me move this up. I've noticed that I'm not in frame a lot, and I think it's because I don't know where the camera is. I'm trying to get y'all closer, and I forget that you are focused in a bit deeper, further. I don't know the word. So we've got her with her mushrooms. I kind of like her here, but I do feel like she needs something else. So let's see what else we can find for her. Maybe, what if we put that on there? And I think the thing that I really like about ATCs is that they don't have to be complicated. They are only, excuse me, as complicated as you really want to make them. So if you want them to be super involved and there's a lot going on, you most certainly can get them that way. But to me, like, that would be fine. And then maybe we find a little word. So I'm going to set her off to the side. I'm going to do this Diane over at Tattered Edges Design. I'm going to do this her way because I love how she does that. She's like, we're going to construct them and then I'm going to go away and glue them so that you don't have to watch that mess. And then I'll come back and show them to you. And I think that's just fabulous. Oh, I kind of like that. Let's see. What if we put this here and he could sit on it and then his little dog could be down there? Yeah. I think that's great. I think that's enough. Remember, we don't have to get all crazy. What if we just put these nice ladies on that? No, I do not like that. Never mind. All right. What if we give them some nice flowers? And no, you know what? I've got all this fabric over here. Oh, I just heard somebody go, yes. You were waiting on the fabric part, weren't you? All right. What if we put a little bit of fabric behind them? Like that. Maybe another piece too. Maybe like a little bit of this. This is knitted, so I'm dropping stitches, y'all. Dropping stitches, but that makes it look really kind of neat, actually. So if I lay that down and I put that there, and then I put these ladies there. Yes, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. What else do we have? What else can we do here? Let's see. I do have this, which I could glue. That's kind of neat. Okay. All right. Or I could even put it on this side, but that would make it a little heavy on that side, I think. Okay. There's another one. I'm just carefully stacking them over there. All right, and then we have this little girl. And remember, you can turn your ATCs to be all different directions. We can do all different directions if we want. I'm seeing if there's anything in here that might be fun. I do have this little piece of book page. So I could do that. And I have an arrow, which doesn't make much sense, but it's the right color. At least it's the right color, y'all. I have a little orange heart, which maybe I could do like that. She needs something behind her. What about a little bit of this with some of the orange in it? Yeah. What if I just put this whole thing back there? So what if I did that? Like that. Put her on there with a little heart. Okay. Yes, and then I'll give her a little word. I'll find words. It's fine. When I say I'll find words, I mean like this, a little sticker that has some little saying on it. All right. What if we do her with, I think she might look good with a little bit of this behind her. Okay. And we can do this. Okay. And she can have that. Trim this up right about there. And then she's got a little bit of that. She needs another color behind her, I think. What if we did a smidgen of this yellow behind her? Kind of layer it up like this, and then put her on there. Yes, okay, that's cool. And then I kind of want to give her maybe a little fussy cut or something else. Something maybe a little fun and whimsical. That's not the right colors. These are similar. These colors are okay. What if we... nope. None of that is talking to me. So we're moving on. Moving on. You gotta go fast. If it doesn't feel right, keep moving. All right. I don't think I want any of those. I don't think I want any of those. You are awesome. That's not the right color. Best ever is too big, but that actually, wait. I kind of like that. All right, that's her. Best ever. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's see. And then let's work on these ladies. So what we could do with these ladies is we could put a piece of fabric down and have them sit on the fabric. I don't know if I like that though. I wish I had green. I do have green. So luckily there's some green there. So since they do look kind of St. Patrick's-y, don't they? Let's give them a little patch of green. What if we did this? Like that. Oh, they're cute. Yeah, it is pouring rain here. It very rarely rains, but today is pouring rain. I kind of like that, actually. We're going for it. We're making it. That's what we're doing. We're just going to make it. All right, now we have these fine folks. Fine folks. Step right up. All right, what I want to do is I want to pull out some of these threads. I'm going to make a big mess on my desk here, but that's okay. Everything's washable. It can all be cleaned up. It's all going to be okay. We're going to pull these out because we want it to fray. And we're just going to pull on them. There we go. And then, come on. We could put this down. And then we can put them on top. Yep. It needs something light behind it. I wish I had a light green. I do have this, which is light green. What if I put that? Here's a bigger one. And it's lighter green. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. And then I'll put a little word somewhere. That one was very thready. Okay. Now we have this nice lady. And we want to give her, no, I don't really like the orange on that. Does she have, she does not have a piece of that. So maybe we give her a little piece of this. And that's kind of contrasty, right? Yes, that's kind of cool. I like that. She also has some purple. So what if we gave her a little tag underneath? And maybe we could even give her a little piece of fabric under her. Okay. I try not to make my videos too long, but holy smokes, I just fail pretty much every time. It's just a big bag of failure. But whatever. Oh yeah, that's cool. And then I'll give her a little word. Love it. All right. Next we have this nice lady. You know what? I don't want to do her next, actually. I want to do these nice ladies, and I want to put this behind them. I don't know how, but I definitely want to fray this up and put them behind. Put this behind them, I guess. Put them on in front of this. And I may have to break out my iron. I have to say, as a quilter, using wrinkly fabric, I get it. I know it's like supposed to be like grungy and used and junky, and I understand. I really, 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 really do, but boy, does it bother me. All right, so they get that, and then maybe they get, they definitely get good vibes. Hee hee. I need a ticket that is a lighter color. What if I did a really light purple? Yes. That's adorable. Oh my gosh, I love these. They're so colorful and bright, and they make me very, very, very happy. Okay, she needs a bright color, so I'm going to give her that. And I think I'm going to give her a little bit of this, like so. And I need to pull it so that the stitches fall and it gets all, it's like putting a run in your hose. Pantyhose? Do y'all remember pantyhose? I know y'all remember pantyhose. My gosh, I hated pantyhose. I used to get so mad at my mother when she would make me wear those dang things. Well, you have to wear them. We're going to church. And I was just like, God will understand that I do not wear pantyhose. I think I might have even made that argument that I don't think God wants us to wear pantyhose. And she would just be like, fine, whatever. She just let it go finally. She was like, whatever, just wear whatever. Wear whatever you're going to wear. I mean, I didn't like wearing a dress, so she was lucky I was in a dress. So I suspect she probably had this realization that, well, at least this girl's in a dress, so I might as well put her butt in the car and take her to Sunday school. Even though she got bare legs, at least she's in the dress. And then I found out we could wear jeans to church because we were Methodist. Let me tell you. I was like, oh, heck no, I ain't wearing them dresses. And then we didn't have to worry about pantyhose. But she finally just gave in and was like, fine. Oh, I love that. So I wore jeans to church. I wasn't the only kid wearing jeans to church, FYI. There were plenty of other kids wearing jeans to church. Just so you know, I wasn't the only one. I wonder if we could give her a leaf. that's not terrible. What if we gave her a leaf and put this kind of over it? I don't actually want this selvage edge. So I'm going to cut that part off and kind of fray this a little. Now when I glue all of this down, of course it's going to really, like, you know, stick on there. All this stuff will flatten out a lot. So, and then what if she says, awesome, totally tubular? No, I don't like that. I don't like it. It was funny for a second. Oh, she looks like she's kind of wearing a wedding dress. What if I gave her on this day? Maybe. Yeah, we're going to give her on this day. Cool. Whew. Last one, which is great because I'm telling y'all all my secrets about Sunday school and all sorts of stuff. So now I can hush my mouth. Hush your mouth. All right. So I think I'm going to take this, and I only really want this part of it. And I think I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take a piece of this. Well, wasn't what I wanted to do. That wasn't it, y'all. Let's see. Where are my bigger scissors? Okay. And then maybe I could do something like this. I know there's lots of stuff I haven't used, huh? Maybe I need to, well, maybe we can use that's the back, I think. Nope, that's the front. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I really like that. What if we did that? Well, let's put this down. All right, and then we need my bone folder. And we're gonna burnish this down as much as possible. So there is texture on these cards because of the deli paper. So it's not gonna stick perfectly, but I definitely want to get them as close as possible because I don't want to have to go around and glue everything back down, which isn't a terrible thing to have to do, but I've done that on enough things that I would rather just not really do it again. So I could do that there. And that there. I don't actually like this thing behind their head. Hang on. What else do I have? Well, I have this one, which may be a bit bigger and a bit more interesting. Nope, I don't like that either. Now I'm wondering, what if I don't put people on this one and I just put something else on this one? And I do have this little funny bit. No, I don't like that. Ooh, what if I do, hang on. What if I put this on the bottom? And then I can put them on that. With that That looks correct. Okay. That's our final one. Okay. I'm going to go glue all of these together, clean up my desk here a little bit so that I can get things all gluey and I'm not going to ruin other things in the process. And then I'll come back. I told you this was going to be a long multi-day video. So, you know. Now you can do these things very quickly in one day because you don't have to stop what you're doing to record a video. So if I were doing these by myself, I would have been gluing them as I was picking everything out. I wouldn't set them off to the side over here like this and then go and glue them all together. I just glue things as soon as I say, yes, I like that. I do that for two reasons. One is it's faster to just go ahead and glue it. But two, once I say yes to something, I glue it so I can't change my mind. So if you have a really bad habit, and I am not judging you, I am saying this because I too have this same habit. If you have a bad habit of second guessing yourself, it's very helpful to just glue it down. The minute you go, oh yeah, I like that, glue it. And then that's it, it's over with. You don't have a chance to go, well, maybe I don't. So keep that in mind. If you like something, glue it down. And I'll be right back. I'm gonna go glue all these down and then we'll see the finished product. And we're glued. All right, so I didn't change too many things from what we discussed. I did add words to the ones that didn't already have words. So I will hold each up so that you can see them. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. I like that because there's little pieces of glitter in that. And then I also did put a little heart sticker on there. This little boy says the good life. We've got this, it says enjoy today. And then she's gonna do her best. Do your best. They've got good vibes only. I know only isn't there, but it does say good vibes. And then I really wanted one that said curiouser and curiouser, but I couldn't find one. So I found find your fire and I gave her a little star sticker just for a little added je ne sais quoi. This one has beauty and I used glue and I glued it to the actual fabric. So maybe that'll stick, but I like that one. This one, best ever. And she's got a little oogie on her card. There we go. So there we go. This one says on this day. And she does have a leaf behind her, but you can't really see it, but I think that's okay. And then these two, it says smile. And I gave them a little star. I also put one little strip of extra collage paper back there. I don't know if it did anything, but, and then we have our St. Patty's Day ladies. Oh my gosh, they're adorable. And then this little mother-daughter, and it says, be you bravely. So that's it. Those are our ATCs. If you want one of these, I think I'm going to mail some out. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I have a dozen. I will want to keep 1 or 2. So the first 10 folks that email me with your address, I'll mail you a ATC. My email address is in my description box. I typed it out. So the @ symbol is the word AT, at. So it is up there, but it's not a link. You have to actually type it out yourself. So hopefully you can find it. And if you want one of these, the first 10 folks to email me will get an ATC. I hope that you enjoy this. I am excited to mail some out to some folks, and let me know if you make any ATCs. These were so colorful and fun. I just love them. I also want to give a big shout out to Sandy Franklin because she's the one who keeps posting her bright and vibrant ATCs to the Facebook group, and I just adore them. And so that was my inspiration to make these bright and cheerful ATCs. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful week.